I'm live. Am I live or what? There we go. Okay, so for anyone who hasn't been watching my Instagram or my Twitter, what do you think about these brows? Okay, so there's a pen. I think I did a video on this before. 2 new products for me. This eyebrow pencil or pen, or I'm sorry. It's a tint pen. Brow tint pen. This, I did a video on this. See how it's... And on this and the eyeliner. But I wasn't impressed with how it turns blue. It leaves a blue mark underneath your skin. Or underneath the brow, like when it gets wiped off. It leaves a blue pen mark. But I put them on today because I didn't want to wear my usual pencil and my usual powder, which both pencil will smudge, powder will wipe off easily. These are not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. I love them. This is deep brown. I'm actually impressed. I'm surprised. Now, when I do go wash these off tonight, I'm interested to know if I will still have the blue, the blue residuals that this pen tends to leave behind. Almost like a henna tattoo, but it's a bluish greenish color. So we shall see. I'm wrapped up in a blanket. I'm waiting for company. I have company coming today, but I just wanted to do my YouTube version of what I've already shared on Twitter and Instagram. I should be starting to work later on today on a website called Dun Dun Dun. I'm not going to release the name. Not on my Instagram. Who cares? Chatterbait. As I mentioned on my Twitter and my Instagram, I don't really do anything in the dark that I would be upset by if it came to the light. So there's no shame in my game, really. I don't have anything to hide. I don't think anything is wrong with me choosing to choosing this as a career right now, or a job, or a form of income. We'll have to see how it goes, how well I do. I used to work in the adult industry a long time ago. Dancing, long time ago, years ago, dancing. I did do some other adult material when I was much younger. Did not go as was contracted to go. Had some real issues with that. Never really got any resolve or resolution to it. But not anything I really need to. Yeah, bad idea. Not so much bad that the video was out there, but bad the way it was handled. It was like an adult video that I was only necessarily contracted to actually do anything with my boyfriend at the time, or the guy that I was having sex with. I guess you wouldn't call him a boyfriend because I don't think I had a boyfriend at the time. I was just only intimate with one person at a time, which is generally how I do things. I'm only intimate with one person at a time. But the person I was intimate with had his own adult website, has his own adult business, and I signed on to do a video with him. With him. That's all I had signed on to do. But in the midst of recording, the whole camera crew jumped in, and I was essentially gangbanged without consent, and it was on video. So that being said, I don't recommend amateur. I don't recommend amateur. If you do decide to do adult entertainment outside of stripping, outside of being a dancer, or something in a controlled environment, I do suggest you make sure you go with reputable people. If you do amateur, do it on your own amateur. Don't allow others to influence you to do amateur and them be in charge, because that is what will happen. That is what will happen. I think they portrayed me as someone they picked up on the side of the street, and I don't know, just pick him up and lay him down was what it was supposed to be. But the whole camera fucking crew jumped in, which was not anything I would have consented to on a regular basis. Not anything I would have ever done consensually, not even for a video. So that being said, My choice now will be at home. My choice now will be me in control. I can turn the camera off if I ever feel uncomfortable, if I ever get asked to do anything I don't want to do. It's not anything that's contracted. I have to do certain things and allow certain activities. It's nothing like that. I do what I want, how I want, when I want. I set my own prices for certain activities or shows or whatever, and it's very controlled by me. Therefore, it's much more acceptable to me. It's much less likely that I'll be exploited because I am the one that's in full control. So it is a career that does take a certain degree of mental health. Believe it or not, I'm the one hollering that. Yes. My point of view on this right now, my POV, is pretty much that the only attention I get is of sexual nature. I don't have friends. It's very difficult for me to make friends and be trusting of other people. I don't interact socially with other people. It gets very uncomfortable. Therefore, I don't have any attention directed my way except for, people making comments or compliments, if you want to call them that, or sexual advances anytime I'm in public. The person I am intimate with, obviously, he's a very busy person, and it's like the only attention we can give each other at this point in time. When we do see each other, it's a very short amount of time, generally speaking. He's got to get back to his life, and I mean, I got to get back to mine, I guess. Needless to say, until we have more time for each other, that's pretty much the only attention that we give each other, because we love it. Anyway, that being said, so why not monetize the attention that I'm already getting? Why walk around and give it away for free when I could be online flirting with people and getting paid for it? And I'm in control of what I accept and what I don't accept. And there's no one that can reach through the screen and touch me without permission. There's no one that can overstep boundaries. Out in public, they can, even though they're in public, believe it or not. I've had more people touch me and hug me or say things that were completely inappropriate and disrespectful to me in face-to-face interactions or social and public interactions than I have over the internet. So it's a place where I can set boundaries, practice being assertive, believe it or not. Oh God, chocolate. Practice being assertive, believe it or not. And that can actually benefit me in that eventually I'll gain the confidence to be as assertive in person. I don't know. A lot of people that don't know me don't know me. And even a lot of people that know me don't realize I have a lot of difficulty when it comes to being assertive. I've always been very, in my opinion, oppressed when it comes to expressing my feelings or my distaste or my my lack of interest in doing something. I've always been pretty much at a loss of choice when it comes to doing things I didn't want to do. I have been sexually abused. I have been sexually assaulted by friends and strangers alike. So that being said, by people I trusted and by people I didn't know. So that being said, I'm more of a freeze than fight or flight. It's not always possible to run, and it's not ever feasible for me to start a fight or to resist something, because it's almost always led to something traumatizing. So, not that being sexually assaulted isn't traumatizing enough in itself. Fighting tends to either make future interactions or future, if it's someone you know and someone you interact with a lot, it tends to make future incidents, if it's spousal, they tend to become more violent and more violent as you go. I found that if you don't allow them to become violent, I don't know that I even want to discuss that right now. That being said, it's practice for me to actually be verbal and for me to actually set boundaries. And yes, we will be doing adult things as consensual adults, at least I will, for entertainment. Not a problem for me, not a problem for the consenting adults on the other end who will be requesting my services, so to speak. And so that being said, I will be the one in charge of what is done and what I accept and what I'm willing to do. And that's empowering for me, actually. For once, I'm on the end that's setting the rules. I'm on the end that's deciding when I am and when I'm not. I'm the one in control, and yes, that's very empowering to me. So it's not anything I'm ashamed of. It is the career that I'm going to, in a career. I don't want to say career because I don't know that it's anything I want to do forever. But I'm 40 years old, for Christ's sake. I don't know. But then again, there's a niche for everyone. Yes, 18 to 99 and up. There's a niche for all of us. So maybe some of you lovely young spring chickens. See, I'm going to get grandmas and grandpas out there, and kids are going to be pissed off at me. Fucking bitch. My parents on Chatterbait. Making more money than me. Anyways, yeah, that's about all I have to say this morning. There's really is no shame in my game. I think we're very critical and judgmental of people. I don't know. I think it's silly. We allow so much abuse and other things to go on for free. Why not allow someone to consensually participate in these things and be paid for it? I mean, to me, it's harmless. Just like with anything else, it has a propensity to become addictive or destructive. It is a very abusive. Industry. The adult industry is, but I think that's because we've allowed it to be. I think it's a lot safer than people think, but it's still very abusive, mentally taxing and physically taxing, obviously. I guess depending on which genre your entertainment lies. Needless to say, I think it's more acceptable, more productive than driving or working. I'm not going to say driving, but doing anything for 12 hours for $4 an hour. That's not acceptable to me. That's like robbing me of more time with my child and paying me less than minimum wage. And it's independently contracted, so there wasn't any way to complain about that. So there's no way to complain about that or require anything more if it's independently contracted. So that being said, like I said before, I don't have a problem with Slicks at all. Slicks was wonderful with me. They were very patient. They were very nice. They trained me well. I caught on pretty quick. The other drivers were awesome. They were all very helpful. They were all very sweet. I just don't think the benefit outweighed what I was sacrificing, and that was time with my daughter. So that's pretty much the only reason I stopped. Because at first I was thinking some money is better than no money, but I was really sacrificing a lot of my time. And because of the circumstances, they were needing drivers on my days off. So it was like 5 days a week, 12 hours a day. And then 2 days a week, they were calling me to come in. So it was pretty much 12 hours a day for 7 days a week. It became a little bit too much away from my daughter. And she's at the age where she needs a lot of supervision because that's when hormones are raging and children are trying to become adults. And she's already had her little veering to the left. I need to keep her straight and narrow in the direction she should be facing, so she can focus on her education and her future, and possibly what career she's going to pursue, which I believe is fashion design. She wants to be a gamer with her own fashion line. Okay, you go, girl. I told her she needs to look into playing video games, like testing betas and shit, but I don't know. I honestly believe, and I told my daughter this, I really honestly believe that high school is a waste of time. Like, seriously, we should be going through the 8th grade at the most. Once we finish 8th grade, we need to be focusing on our careers. I think going through high school and doing all these other things that are just extra education, like world history. Okay, yes, we need to know American government. Yes, we need to know math, reading, writing, and arithmetic, basically, to communicate. And then once you get to 8th grade, or once you get through 8th grade, you need to be starting to focus on exactly what it is. Finding your strengths. We should be working on finding our strengths, learning life skills to maintain a household. If children are going to be in your future, there should be some sort of parenting classes going along with home economics and like the good old days, like it used to be. Like now you've got all these extra electives and shit and classes that people have never, okay, I'm sorry, trigonometry, algebra, all that stuff to a certain degree is, yes, necessary. But are you kidding me? We take it overboard. We take it overboard just so that our kids have something to do while we're out working our butts off in an overworked friggin' society. I think mothers should not be allowed to leave their children until they're 5 years or older, because between birth and 5 years is a detrimental stage in their lives and their neurological development, and we're affecting children in a way that's making them dysfunctional as adults and refusing to understand that that's doing that to them. Refusing to be understanding of their disposition or their inability to function as well, but we're the cause of it. It's ridiculous to me. I can't stand it. Allowing corporal punishment, things like that. Stupidity. Kids blowing up schools and shit is because we're allowing people to be violent towards children. Period. We're allowing mothers to leave the sides of their children, allow other people just to raise their children. There's conflict in style when it comes to parenting, and the courts say, okay, well, it's just a mere conflict of opinion or parenting style. That plays a key role in the development of children. Parenting style, if it's conflicting or opposing, plays a head game with developing mind. It's a head game. It causes neurological problems. It causes emotional and mental health issues because two conflicting parenting styles, and actually causes narcissism. Narcissism, that's the soul root. That is the root of narcissism, is one parent being overly praising and the child can do no wrong, and you're and then the other parent being usually corporally punishing or abusive physically in some manner, and very difficult to please, very, very strict and stern, and the two of them cause confusion in the child's mind while it's developing, and they become narcissistic. Narcissistic people are very selfish. Narcissistic people only know how to fill their own needs, because they are so confused. Like, one person, they're gods to, and then the other person, they can't ever be good enough, and so they're stuck in this tug of war inside their mind, inside their psyche. That's just like, I don't know. They're oblivious to a lot of it, but at the same time, there's some narcissists that actually become aware of it, and it's destructive not only to the people around them, but to them as well, because they're like, God, why am I doing this to people? You know what I mean? Anyway, yes, there are narcissists out there like that. Some are malignant, some are not. It's very difficult to understand why we're blaming adults these days that are so dysfunctional and so plagued with mental health issues and personality disorders, when it's because it's because of us being overworked as a society. Like, nowadays it takes two parents to keep up a household, and it's ridiculous. Like, mothers, I think that's why kindergarten starts at age 5, because that's the age when they're able and ready to be around other people and parented and directed by other people. That's when they start to gain the independence and the ability to understand and speak up for themselves. Like, if something does happen that's inappropriate to them, they can speak up. Like, before that, they can't. Like, we're so underprotective of our children and so overworked trying to maintain stability and all that other shit. I think it's fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. Needless to say, that's it. I don't want to go rambling on about everything. Blah, 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 blah. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day. Like, share, subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. Hit the little dingy bell if you want to be notified every time I come on here rambling like a freaking whatever.